Hello everybody, my name is Dusty and welcome to my channel. I think every person designs a bucket list for themselves somewhere along their life of things they want to accomplish before they reach a specific age. A lot of the people I know want to get married or have kids or travel the world by the time they're the age of 30. So it made me think, what do I want to do by the time I reach the age of 30? Should I climb Mount Everest? Should I travel the world? Should I get married? Should I graduate school? Or should I spend all my money on animals? I think the answer is clear on that one, and before I turn the age of 30, there are 10 animals I want to get. So here's 10 animals I want to get before I'm 30. Before we begin, I want to tell you these are in no specific order, so I don't like one animal more than another. Number 1! Before I turn 30, I want to have a red-tailed catfish. If you don't know what a red-tailed catfish is, it's a gigantic fish that's going to require thousands of gallons in order to survive. These fish are monstrous, and they eat almost anything that can fit into its mouth, and some things that won't fit into their mouth. When I went down to the Chicago Aquatic experience, I got to visit a red-tailed catfish called Jack, who was at a local pet store. The local pet store was called the Aquatic Adventure in Hoffman Estates, and this catfish was amazing. The personality was just outstanding, and it would come up to you, and in some ways you could feed it. I didn't feed it, but this got into my head as something I want to get in the future. Not only because it's gigantic, but also because it's really personable. Number 2! Something that I have been able to care for a very long time is an iguana. Iguanas fueled my interest in reptiles, and I've wanted one for a very long time. When I was in high school, I got the opportunity to pretend an iguana was mine for 3 whole days while my friend babysat or iguana sat their cousin's iguana. It was a great experience, and it showed me that a lot of people are really uneducated about iguanas, even though they are so readily available at almost any pet store. So while I was home for the summer a couple years ago, I volunteered at a local reptile rescue, and lo and behold, there were a lot of iguanas there. So I helped care for the iguanas there, and it fueled my interest in wanting to adopt an iguana when I finally have my own house. Number 3. If you've ever gone to any zoo ever, you have seen a sulcata tortoise. The sulcata tortoise is a gigantic desert tortoise. Most people, when they buy them, they're probably about that big, but they grow to be gigantic. I want one to put in my backyard to wander around and eat all the grass. They also are very well known to be burrowers. So who needs grass when you can have sand and a gigantic tortoise walking around your backyard eating all your weeds? To be completely honest, when it came down to it, it was between a tortoise or a goat, and I'm partial to reptiles. Number 4. Number 4 on my list is a capybara. Capybara. So I wanted to mix things up here, and I want a capybara. Capybara are incredible creatures. They are the largest known rodent. I've cared for guinea pigs and hamsters in the past, and I want to test my skill by getting a capybara. Capybara are herbivores, which means they don't eat meat. They also get gigantic. Imagine a 150-pound hamster. Number 5. I want a black and white tegu. They remind me of gigantic, mean iguanas. I want one so it can walk around and patrol my house for eggs and meat. I don't know why eggs and meat would be laying around my house, but if it was, I'd want a black and white tegu to take care of that problem. Black and white tegus interest me because of their massive size and their power. Another fun fact is that they are invasive species in Florida. So not only can we take care of the invasive species problem, I get a really cool guardian of my house. It takes care of all my boiled eggs and rotten meat. Win-win. Number 6. Number 6 is a pixie frog, or better known as an African bullfrog. In my last video, I always said that I wanted a Pac-Man frog, and you know what? These are gigantic Pac-Man frogs. They will literally eat a full rat. They are amazing, beautiful creatures that I think would make a great addition to any room. I've been looking at them for a very long time, and between that and bullfrogs, I think they are a powerhouse in the frog community. There's a fun fact about me, and that's that I always wanted to go to Africa and discover a new species of frog. I've always been interested in rainforests and elephants and amphibians, and it was always my dream of going to Africa. And since I'm never going to Africa, this is bringing Africa to me. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want that. I mean, it sounds great. Number 7. A sandfish lizard. I don't know if you guys know what this is. I found it while scrolling through some online shops, and I've always wanted one for the last 7 years. They're kind of something that just appealed to me in some way because I think they are so cool. Sandfish lizards literally live in the sand, and they hunt their food through sand. They jump on in and swim through it like water until they find their prey and pop out and grab it. I think it would be a cool addition to any room, even though you never see it. Here's this little lizard, probably about that big, that swims through sand. How cool is that? Number 8. With number 8, we're back to fish. One of the creators that I watch pretty much every video of is Taylor Nicole Dean. If you watch Taylor Nicole Dean and you know who she is, then you know about cowfish. Cowfish are these really cool things. They're saltwater fish. They look like a block and they swim through the water with big lips that just sit there. On Taylor's channel, her cowfish is called Cheese, and he has an amazing personality. And that's probably not just because she puts the voice to him, but the fact that he just loves being in the front, center of attention all the time. One of my favorite characteristics of fish are good personalities, which is why I love goldfish so much, and cowfish seem to have that same personality. Of course, in order to get into cowfish, I actually have to get into saltwater, which is going to take a lot more time and practice and effort on my part, but maybe someday. Number 9. Number 9 is the giant puffer, or Mbu puffer, boo puffer. I can't pronounce it for the life of me, but I know the common name is the giant puffer. If you watch Bob from Aquatics or Aquarium Co-op, you know what I'm talking about. These giant puffer fish are something to be admired. They kind of remind me of the red-tailed catfish and the fact that not a lot of people have them because they require such a large amount of space to keep. They aren't pea puffers that you can just throw into a 5-gallon tank and watch grow. These fish grow to an enormous size to the fact that you need hundreds of gallons to keep one of these. Which is why it's on my list, because I don't have the room to keep it right now, but I would really love to be able to keep it in the near future. Number 10. When I was younger, my mother gave me this book, and it was called Mini Monsters. In this book, it laid out a whole bunch of cool animals that were considered mini monsters because they were either poisonous or deadly. I mean, monsters, right? And one of these fish in this book was an arrow crab. It caught my attention because of the body shape and the long, thin legs. It turns out this thing wasn't as I thought it was. I thought this fish would be 10 feet long and kill everything in sight, but it turns out it gets 6 inches long and can live in your aquarium. Who knew? So ever since I figured that out in my local fish store, I have wanted one. Unfortunately, again, this goes with saltwater and having to establish a saltwater tank, so maybe if I get there in the future, I'll get one. So for now, those are 10 creatures or animals I want to keep by the time I am 30 years old. A lot of you might be thinking, Dusty, you're not that old. 30 years is like 15 years from now. Well, as it turns out, I'm 21, so that's 9 years from now. Most of the people I know that are on YouTube have been doing it for 9 years, so to think about that, to put that into perspective, whew, it's not that far away. Alright, the video's over, go home. Ignore that guy. Nobody likes that guy. The video is over though, so make sure you like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below on an animal you want by the time you're a certain age, and let me know what you guys think about this video. With that being said, I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.